Hey y'all, I'm Hope here at Crafty Hope and welcome. I am today going to work with some graphics arts products, namely the computer graphics. This is the clear inkjet one, some chipboard, and probably going to be bringing in some double tack mounting film. So the first thing I did was I went to my laser cutter and cut out some shapes. I did use both the black and the natural chipboard to make these, but because I can't decide, I like options. I may pull them both in together or I may use them. I'm going to show you a video quick of it cutting. I cut all of the chipboard on my Tack laser. It's an 80-watt laser and I used a speed of 70 to 75 and a power of 35 for the laser. As well, I used the Lightburn program to design these pieces. It's a pretty simple software to use, and all of my pieces are 2.5 inches squared, so they'd fit together really nicely. Once those were cut, I went to my computer and designed some printables for my computer graphics and came up with, let me grab it, with this. I'm so excited about it. It's all different things that I love. Rainbows and butterflies and mushrooms and old handwriting ledger paper and just a lot of fun stuff. So I'm going to combine these things and make a little board book. So let's get to it. This project had quite a few steps, but that's only because I wanted to make it really special. And the first thing I did was come in with some paint and alter some of these pages. I did some Payne's gray on the natural chipboard ones, and then gold along with a blue-green on the black ones. I decided to do a combination of different colors and different things and make every page really special. So I've clipped this down to just kind of include some of the important parts that you need to see for this. I also added some collage using a new hoop glue stick, different papers I had altered along with dictionary paper, and just a lot of bits of collage, things that I really enjoy. I'm hoping to have a more in-depth video of some of these over on my own YouTube channel, so definitely head over there and check that out. If it's not there, give me a shout and let me know if you haven't seen it. So now it is time to add in some of these printables on the computer graphics, and y'all can see I did quite a few things. I created some different things on like Canva. I watercolored some things and put them into Photoshop. What else? I scanned several things. I did a lot of different things to get to kind of test it out and really enjoyed the process. So for my cover, you can see I left a window in one of the pieces, well, actually two of the pieces of chipboard, because I'm going to sandwich it between. And I used that double tack mounting tape to mount that one piece there, and then some tacky glue to stick these two pieces of the window on there, and that's just kind of to hide the backside. I've also done the backside like this with some cereal box, but the computer graphics, because I can do it on the laser cutter, not the computer graphics, the Grafix Chipboard I can cut everything to the exact size that I need with just the laser cutter. So I put that aside to dry while I worked on all of my others. Now I did end up pulling in some of this craft plastic from Grafix. It is the 0.07 millimeter size, but for me it's just I wanted something a little bit thinner to create this pocket. So you can see on my computer graphics I cut out this rainbow. It is one that I watercolored it, scanned it, put it into Photoshop, and put it into in Photoshop I created it. So once I cut it out, I backed it with some of that computer graphics, and I am I'm punching holes around the bottom half of it to create a pocket, and then grab some gold embroidery floss and I'm using a whip stitch through the holes to create this pocket. It gives it a little bit of color. It's going to be really great against that whitewash dictionary paper there that's got gold splatters. It's all yummy. And this is the reason I made sure I use that computer graphics, is I am using some of the double tack to stick on right on the back of that, and then stick it on to the paper in my board book. And that is going to be a little pocket. Now, pretty much I'm creating pockets or belly bands on every single one of these pages. And that is because the board book I am creating is a little like encouragement, inspiration board book that, for whatever it is I need encouragement and inspiration for. So if I decide that the little inspiring quotes that I'm putting in here are not working for me, then I can swap them out and create something else. So I thought having little pockets in this was kind of perfect. So this little quote says, "You get to be here now." And it's something that I've been telling myself for a few weeks now, to remind myself that you have this time right now to live your life. So make sure you're here and present and that kind of thing. So I typed that up on my typewriter, put some of that double tack on it, stuck it on some more of that craft plastic, and you can see I'm creating a little tag. So I'm rounding off the edges so it doesn't stick too far outside of my book. And then from there I punched a hole and added some more of that gold embroidery floss at the top of it as a fun little tag. So I'm letting y'all see. And for this one, because I know that embroidery floss is slippery, I am doing a lark's head knot there, but then I'm just going to do another little overhand knot just to get it stuck in place, just like that. And then I will trim it down and slip that in its pocket. And and I love that you can see this quote right through that computer graphics. Now for the next page, I cut a circle out of some heavy duty cardstock. I inked it up, and then I have this printed out dandelion that I am going to use some gloss medium to stick to the cardstock. And then on the back of it, I typed up another little quote that I stuck on the back with my Oohoo glue stick, and somehow that footage got lost. But to make that, I'm doing a belly band here using it's a printed piece of an old ledger, I believe, that I had photocopied, and I had scanned it, and so that went and was sized on to that computer graphics. And to attach it to the card, the chipboard, I'm just using a little stapler to create this belly band. So you can see it just spans the length of that, and it is stapled on, and then my little sentiment thing slips right in. Now for the next page, I have got this gorgeous butterfly. Again, this is something I had from online that I put in my little file to create this, and I am fussy cutting it out. And once I get it fussy cut out, I'm going to use a piece of, and actually I think it's a piece of the computer graphics, like one of the edge pieces that was extra on here, to create another sort of belly band on here. So you can see I'm kind of looking at it. There's some excess. And I'm going to make sure I've got the right size. That one actually was a little small, so I ended up finding another piece that I'm going to use. And I've got this sentiment here that I typed right into my file for this journal. I think I only have 2 quotes I typed into it, but I thought that gave me some flexibility to play with it. And I'm going to use some more of that heavyweight cardstock that I've got to create another little tag. This one's a little more conventional shaped, and I'm going to alter both sides of this cardstock, one with more dictionary paper, and then the other side with some infusion sprays that I made. And I'll put the sentiment on the side with spray so I can make sure I can read it. So here's those infusion sprays. This is a bit jaded, and then golden sands that I'm using. Now I'll admit to you that the order that you're seeing these these pages is not the order that this book ended up. It was the order I thought the book was going to be in. But once I got them all made, I had to make some decisions from there about how that looked and how it would come together. And that's what I like. I'm making this a tabbed book. Bound. So you'll see how that is at the end. But I like that about tabbed bookbinding is you can kind of like work on these single pages and then come back in to create your tabs, and organize the pages in the order that you want them. So as you can see, I stapled my butterfly, just that little excess piece of the computer graphics, and then stapled that to my chipboard. So for that tag, I added a little piece of fabric, and that same fabric is going to be brought in later for my tabs. But for now, we're going on to this next page. So this one, I decided I wanted, because I'm putting a Dolly Parton quote on here, I needed something a little more, I don't know, floral and Dolly-esque, I feel like. So I used a Stabilo Woody to draw a flower, and I'm going to seal that with some fluid matte medium, just so that when I put my little pocket there, it's not gonna pick up any of that Stabilo. So that was just my thought. And this one is getting like, it's a pocket, but it's also a belly band, because it doesn't close on the far left edge. So yeah, and I'm using more of that craft plastic to stick my typed up sentiment down on here. Again, this is just so that I can see all the way through everything and see all the different layers. I really love that about all of these products, that if I want to see through them, I can, and if I don't want to see through them, then I can do something else. But I wanted to make this little this tag, I guess, a little special. So I printed some lace on to the computer graphics, and I'm going to trim that down to the size of my tag and stick it together with more of the double tack mounting tape. But I made a mistake on this one. I didn't check the size of this before I put it in there, and it was longer than what I wanted. Once I stick it down, you'll see what I do. So I'm going to stick it down here, just putting it on the back of that printed lace. And of course, the double tack, once you peel the backing off, it is also clear, so it doesn't obstruct the view of what it is you've printed on there. So I'm going to stick that down, and I think I am. I decided to make sure I had it all, and I stick it in there. I was like, oh no, that's too long. So y'all, you know what I did? I clipped it down, and I took it to my sewing machine and just sewed the pieces together. It really worked. Honestly, I was like, oh, that, sometimes sometimes little things like that happen, and it showed me that all of these things are stitchable as well. So for that pocket, I am sticking just little pieces of the double tack mounting tape at the top and the bottom of this printed, it's some kind of little handwritten diary page that I had scanned several years ago, or maybe a year ago or so. But I sized it for the computer graphics and printed it down, and it makes just a neat effect to kind of obscure the sentiment I'm putting in there, so that you kind of have to pull that tag out to see it. I love that. So for my last one, it's another sentiment that I had printed on there, and I decided to alter it and make it show up a little bit better on that altered chipboard, to just grab a Sharpie gold paint pen and scribble behind the words so that they pop a little bit more. And again, I'm using the glossy gel medium on my chipboard and sticking that down just like that. So while that was drying, I kind of decided on the order of all of my pages, and I'm going to create a fabric tape pretty much. So here's all of the pages we've made and the cover there on the far left. Now when you do tab binding, you want to have an even number of pages, so keep that in mind. That was like my big thing in my head. I was like, keep it even, Hope. So here is some more of the double tack mounting tape along with some eco printed fabric that I've eco printed. So I am sticking that fabric directly onto my double tack mounting tape and just trying to smooth it out. I did get a wrinkle or two, but I decided that that was just part of the personality of it. So once I got that stuck down, I'm going to trim down my fabric to the size of that double tack, just so that I didn't have so much fabric to deal with. And then I am cutting little strips of it. So basically fabric tape is what I have created here. And once I get these strips cut, I will cut those strips into the size of pieces that I need for my tab binding. So this is going to go pretty quickly with the tab binding, but I'm going to do my best to explain it. Keep in mind that you're going to end up thinking of the side of your book pages in sections. So you've got the first page, you're going to put 3 tabs, one at the top, one at the bottom, and one in the middle. And that top one I didn't get far enough up, so I real quick moved it before that double tack took full effect. And I'm cutting out some of the peeling up of the tape because you understand how peeling up a back of the tape is. So you're going to flip that over and line up your next page and then stick down just 2 pieces of your tabs. So 1 and 2 in between where your first 3 were, just like that. And then you will place them together so you can see all 5 tabs, and then fold over the 3 that you put down first onto the back of your second page. And you see me, I'm trying to be super persnickety about it. So you fold over 1, the top one, the middle one, and the bottom one. So it flips open like that, and then you will lay your pages, and you've got the 2 tabs that are there. So that third page is going to get 3 tabs, 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the bottom, if I ever get there. Like I said, I was trying to clip this down so I had time to explain it to you. And then you will flip that on top, and then take the previous page's tabs, which are the second one and the 4th one, and flip those over. And so for your next page, you're going to put down 2 tabs, so kind of the same like place where you had those 2 you just flipped over, and then place it over, and then do the one before. So the top one, the bottom one, and the middle one. Top, middle, and bottom. And then for your last page, oh, we're not at the last one yet, are we? Nope. So this one, because I just flipped 3 up, I'm going to put 3 on here. So 1 and 2 and 3, and that's kind of how I kept it in my mind, is if I just flipped over 3, then I have to add 3. So then I will flip over the 2 from that previous one, and then this last page I don't have to add any tabs because I have the ones from the previous one. So I will add those, flip those down, and then I have a completed book, y'all. I'm gonna flip it through real quick so you can see how each of these work and how the whole book looks. But I have pictures of this at the end to give you a better idea of how it looks all put together. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. I encourage you to go check out the grafixarts.com website, all the products they have, because there's some really cool stuff there besides what I've shown in this video, and explore it and have fun with some computer graphics. I mean, think of all the things you can print up and put in a little book like this. I can't wait to play with it some more myself. I hope you enjoyed this, and make sure to give a thumbs up, and I will see y'all later with more stuff from Grafix. Thanks for watching. Bye.